Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex. Today we're going to be taking a look at Vengeful Guardian Moonrider on the Nintendo Switch. Now this one, it's a 16-bit throwback action platformer from the team behind the incredible Blazing Chrome, and I've been psyched for this one ever since I played the demo thanks to Steam at Next Fest. But can it fully deliver on its release? Well, that's what I'm here to find out, so hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and let's get started. The story here throws us into a grim version of the world. It's overseen by mechs of sorts who have built a series of super soldiers to act as tools to preserve the totalitarian state. You are one of these warriors known as Moonrider. Of course though, being the bad guy, that is no fun, and we quickly reject our intended purpose, and now we must wage war against our creator and army and help the human rebellion find peace. Naturally, it's ridiculous, it's over the top, the writing honestly not the best, it had me laughing at points. I do not think that was the intention, but that all said, did I have fun? And absolutely. Gameplay then, and this one's a side-scrolling action platformer, though it does deviate from this format on a couple of moments thanks to a few motorbike sequences. If I had to call out influences here, I'd say the team's a big fan of Again in Style, a game that sells for near $1,000 on SNES now, currently over on eBay, as well as the more well-known Ninja Gaiden and Mega Man. The idea here is simple, though. You get access to a world map with 8 stages, and you must of course progressively overcome each. Each level though is typically made up of a couple of segments, and you will often find a main boss as well as a sub-boss. The controls are fast and fluid, however, and this is where it reminded me of Ninja Gaiden. You can sprint, jump, slash, deliver flying kicks, hang from obstacles, even a wall jump. The controls for the most part felt great, and the enemies are suitably difficult, especially in regards to their placement on the map, and the game definitely gives them an advantage, and that's then reinforced with some sizable boss encounters that bring something completely new to the table. These also often just change up the core mechanics, and yeah, each just kind of pushes you in a different way. Now where the Mega Man element comes in, it's the structure and special moves. Basically, the order that you face these levels, it's completely up to you, and when you do overcome a boss, you will actually inherit a special ability thanks to them. This then can be changed thanks to a quick access wheel menu. These special abilities though will often become essential, but they are attached to a stamina bar in the upper left of the screen that is next to your health meter. Basically, you need to use them wisely, but we have everything from explosions, which can take out many, to my personal favourite, a laser of sorts that allowed me to keep my distance from particularly intimidating enemies. I did, however, though, go pretty linear in regards to how I faced the map on that first playthrough, but after that initial completion, it's definitely easy to see how specific orders could benefit you in overcoming certain stages that I on my first run found particularly difficult. For example, there's an extra boost to your dash that would have been invaluable. Most surprisingly though, on booting up the game, I did notice a lack of difficulty options, and often must have when a game is a retro throwback and short in runtime. You know, this particular game here will take you right around 2 hours for a single run, and I will add here, like, the difficulty is in here, it's just known as a chip system. These are going to be secret collectibles through the stages, which you can then apply to Moonrider. The first example is armor to make the game easier, but as you progress there's multiple ore which can make things easier or harder. They also have a trade-off. Dialing up the difficulty, for example, may increase your high score quicker. They can even add new abilities to our lead, so they are absolutely worth hunting out and experimenting with. During levels then, do know there's going to be 3 pickups in total. That's going to be health regen, stamina regen, as well as extra lives. You're going to start each run of the game with 3 lives, and this includes a life at 0. Lose them all, you'll hit a continue screen, and you will need to try again with quite a decent little, throwback in the checkpoint you're at. On that note of checkpoints though, I will say it's mostly fine. There were a few moments where it maybe threw me back just a little too far, but that is minor. Once you beat the game, then its replayability will come down to your willingness to high score chase and experiment with setups. That's the chip system. Definitely adds a nice amount of variety though, and of course you need to hunt them down at first. They are almost collectibles, and that is easier said than done. Each stage then rewards a level based on time to beat and damage taken. It seems it's pretty difficult as well to get the highest of scores, as I only managed it once out of the entire 8-level collection. Problems then, and while it's a very good recreation of its influences, it's not really here to do anything unique, and it's pretty paint by numbers. Again, it's not a bad thing, but it won't surprise you. This game is probably the best way I can put it. Additionally, the motorbike levels, they are okay, but they feel a little overlong for me, and if anything actually a little too slow. I wanted more challenge in these moments. Additionally, I personally felt the implementation of the wall jump felt a little off, and some of the enemy placement, as I said, it can be aggressive in regards to where it puts them. It could also be borderline cheap, leaving you little arena to maneuver around. I also found a few short underwater sequences to be a nice idea, but the slowdown in movement leading to more of a strategic play, I just didn't find it all that exciting. These, though, minor complaints. I'm a fan of the genre. I think fans will like it a lot too. If you're a one run and done sort of player, however, I'm not sure this will be worth the full asking price, as it's really designed around dialing up the challenge, experimenting, and then mastering the boss order. Then you're going to basically just repeat that and work to outdo your previous high score. There's also no sort of co-op play included in here, so it's very much a single player experience. Visually then, I really like what they've done with Vengeful Guardian and Moonrider for the most part. We have a unique lead with some greater 16-bit animations, and while the game can get manic with projectiles and attacks, it was never difficult to understand what was occurring. The locations mostly keep to a theme of secret bases, think a whole lot of greys, but there's enough variety that each still feels unique. They always threw in something that will be a distinguishing factor of this boss's location. Enemy design then is solid, again with a nice variety of attacks and with a mix of movement patterns. They even fly, and yeah, I was always excited to see then what came next. The motorbike levels, unfortunately, they look a little basic to me in comparison to the rest of the package, and I'd say one of the highlights in the game, just to kind of finish graphics on a positive, really enjoyed the basic cutscenes. Very much a throwback to the time period, but they really did kind of add a lot of character to this world. Audio finally, and I love the work here. It's suitably retro, meaning a relatively simplistic sound effect field, but attacks and movement sound good, and enemies exploding extremely satisfying. My favourite elements of audio though, there's two here, that is before each boss encounter. They have a small amount of recorded dialogue that's given no translation, adds a ton of character though, and then the soundtrack, I loved it bouncing between, reflecting the downfall of society with slower pieces and high tempo to drive up the action. So the final verdict on Vengeful Guardian and Moonrider, much like their previous effort, Blazing Chrome is a tribute to the 16-bit action platformers of the past. In that sense, it absolutely succeeds, throwing you into a world where the difficulty is a little more intense than many, modern releases, and it packs a unique set of attacks, specials, and bosses to take on. While it's not particularly unique, then it does balance a nice set of elements from a Ninja Gaiden to Mega Man, while adding in a chip system to modify our lead and what we are facing. So yeah, basically it won't do anything to challenge your expectations, but you will have a lot of fun, and I personally love chasing high scores, so I'm definitely getting my value for money. And that's really the big question with this game, and honestly any in this genre. You basically need to ask yourself, do I want to master a control scheme and then proceed to outdo previous runs? A great 8 out of 10 from me today then, and this team, they just go from strength to strength, roll on their next retro throwback, because I will absolutely be there for it. Will you be adding Vengeful Guardian to the library then? Let us know in the comments. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.